What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the After Effect Podcast. I am your host, LeBron Stephen, but you can call me LB, LBZ, L Bookie, Big Brian, B Ron, whatever you choose. Welcome to episode 40. We have a very special guest. William Maxwell's on the show today, Georgia native, plays center at the University of Georgia Southern, played 4 or 5 years of arena football. We were teammates in 2013 where we played arena football together and connected. So he is jumping on now, and we will go in now. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfect now. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So yeah, I think it was my microphone for sure, bro.
All right. I was sitting there thinking, like, damn, I hope I'm not ruining this bad podcast. I had to try the computer, the phone, wasn't nothing working.
Yeah, it was my microphone because I went back and tried to watch and do what we had already talked about,
Yeah.
and my microphone it was staticky, like you said you heard.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I said, oh, no, I ain't tripping. like the first, like the first two questions we had, I'm sitting there and I'm just trying to hear what you're saying, and I could
Right.
hear you, but it was very staticky.
That's that was a talent. That was a talent that you could hear me, man. You may want to.
Hey, look, I was focused in. I was trying to read lips. I'm like, all right, we
Yeah,
got this. We're going. We're going. Then
yeah,
you went
man.
completely out. So I was just like, all right, yeah,
Yeah,
no.
it was all my fault, man. So unfortunately, we gotta start from the beginning. But it's always roadblocks and what we trying to do creatively. Gotta push through it.
Look, man, we'll get through it one way or the other.
Right. So I know, I like we talked about earlier. I know you're a Jaguars fan, and so let's just talk current events first, man. We already kind of talked about it, but it is.
Yeah.
Who do you have winning the Super Bowl this year and why?
Again, I got I got the Chiefs winning, man. Like I said, I think the Chiefs got the AFC locked up. It's a lot of good teams. Like I said before, the Browns. I think they'll get in today, man. They'll probably beat the Steelers. They can
Yep.
make some noise to keep that running game going, and Baker just don't turn the ball over.
I'm
So
I'm I'm pulling up the game right now as we speak.
that's what I'm
uh,
saying. I know you want to be tuned into it, but I got the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, man. We'll see what happens.
yeah, I mean, in my opinion, we should blow them out to be honest, because the Steelers are resting everybody.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if y'all lose today and Pittsburgh playing Mason Rudolph, hang
Right.
it up.
Yeah,
Hang it up.
like I said earlier, man, I would love to see the Chiefs and the Bucks. Like we said, the official GOAT versus the new GOAT. Tom
Yeah.
TB12 versus Patrick Mahomes. So that would be great to see. And like we said earlier, the Super Bowl is in Tampa, and it would be dope to see a team host the Super Bowl because that's never happened.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think they got a good path, man. Like I said, the Bucks they're playing good. It depends on what Brady we get. You know, Brady this year, he'll have an amazing game,
yeah.
and then he have a game where he just stink
I
it
know,
out.
I know where he just looked terrible. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
It's weird. Like, yeah, it's weird to watch him because we're used to seeing him be so consistent, but now you can
yeah,
kind of tell like it's kind of on and off. But also the Buccaneers have a really explosive offense. You know what I mean?
yep,
So they run so many different formations and looks and things like that. So
yeah, man. Like I said, they got. I think AB gonna turn it up in the playoffs too, so it might get scary.
yeah, it could possibly get scary. I know we talked about it earlier. Like I said earlier, I know that you're a new husband and father, and obviously we're walking into month 10 of COVID. We've never been through a global coronavirus pandemic since we've been alive and on this planet. How have you
Mhm.
had to grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally? Just being the leader of your household, essentially.
Yeah, like I said before, man. Like so, we got pregnant. Like I said, October 2019. No,
Hmm.
2019. I'm sorry. And like I said, the pandemic hit what January, February 2020. So
Yeah, March. Yeah. Well, I think
yeah,
like March 21st or something like that. I don't know.
March, like officially they started shutting stuff down. Like
Yeah.
January, you heard about it, like it was
Yeah,
brewing
yeah,
in China
yeah.
or
It hit
whatever.
in China like January,
Yeah,
February. Yeah.
but around March it started turning up everywhere. So
Hmm.
like I said, we were pregnant. Like I said, we both lost our jobs in April.
Hmm.
Like I said, I'll never forget that feeling, man. Like it's a pandemic brewing. We don't have a job. Like,
Yeah,
what are we gonna do? What am I gonna do? Just being the
exactly.
leader of the household.
Hmm.
Like I said,
And
man, we
had to fight through it. And
had to
it's
get
it's so
right.
funny, like you said earlier, man, that you kind of had to pull from lessons that you learned through football, like fighting through adversity and keeping your head down and keep continuing to pound the pavement, right? Because for your normal Joe who may have not have ever played sports or didn't have anything to pull from, that could have been a really hard time.
Yeah.
They could have got depressed, or they could have just not been productive for a week or two. Like experience and stuff like that, especially while it's a virus going on and you can't really move around, man. It's really hard on the mental.
Yeah, man. Like I was sitting here just kind of wondering what we got to do. But in football, we've been playing so long. This is always this, next play. You got to know
Yeah.
what you're going to do next, how you're going to bounce back. So,
Uh-huh.
man, it wasn't, it wasn't nothing to it, man. And like I said, I like to stay cool, calm, and collected anyway. Yeah, it's
Same here.
stressful, but too much stress will kill you, man. So,
Yeah,
I just take it one day at a time. It's going to work out one way or the other.
exactly. Like you said, too much stress will kill you, and that's so true. So let me get your take on this, bro. What is your take on Deion Sanders kind of taking a leap of faith and coaching at an HBCU? I think, in my opinion, he's like a genius or visionary, because Deion Sanders
Yeah.
worked for ESPN and NFL Network for I think about 12 years, so he know those showrunners, he know those producers, he know the people who we need to contact to maybe have those pitch meetings to get Jackson State more visibility, get those ESPN2 contracts, maybe get some of those big games on ESPN or CBS or stuff like that. So I know the exposure piece of it, he will do a super fine job of getting those guys more exposure. And as you can see, he's only been there a couple of months and he's already landing big time recruits. He's already just changing the culture, man. So what's your take on that? Because we both went to PWIs. I think Georgia Southern is a predominantly white school, and University of Iowa is predominantly white school too. So, what's your take on him going to HBCU?
Yeah. Again, do you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hey, it must not.
Oh,
Be,
wow. That's insane.
Yeah, because you're frozen.
Hold on. Give me one. So you can't hear me or see me or anything?
I can. It just came in. I can hear you now.
So you can hear me now. Can you see me moving?
Yeah, and I can see my moving, but it just went out for like a minute.
But I don't know. Hey,
they're
not going to stop by podcast debut. I cannot stop.
Man, I'm telling you, man, it's like some weird wuju going on right now, man.
I think, man, you've been interviewing all these defensive players, man. That's what it is. When you get an offensive side on here, things start going haywire. What's up with this? Although you played D line, I played O line. Is that what this is?
Man, it must be like a battle of the trenches or something, man. Because
that's crazy, man.
I think you are. Are you the first offensive lineman I've interviewed? I think you are.
You see, hey, this is a conspiracy. See, now I'm ready. I've been set up. I have been set up.
So if you don't mind, if just repeat what you said, like your answer on Deion Sanders going to HBCU, because I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I got you. So I think, like I said, Deion Sanders is Deion Sanders.
All right, he's the man.
That man walks in your living room. You're gonna listen. He's been there, done that.
Exactly.
Pro Football Hall of Famer. This man is at Jackson State. Like I said, Jackson State has a good football team too. So it's not like you're going to play for no terrible football team either.
Yeah.
And like you said, he has all these connections with all these big people. He's been at NFL Network, ESPN. So they are 100% going to be, at the very least, on like ESPN or something. They're definitely getting broadcasted. So,
you know that.
Like I said, I think he's going to change the landscape, man.
Yeah,
he's definitely.
Like you said,
he already pulled the top DBs.
Yeah, already. So, and I think I think it's a tie wave coming for sure, man. I think that he'll land those big games. He'll probably land a game versus Alabama. I mean, he'll land those big games, man. He'll get them that exposure because he's been in that. He's been in those shoes, so he knows what they need to succeed.
Exactly, and like I said, especially a defensive back like it's Deion Sanders. Like you, damn near got to go play for him.
Right.
You're gonna learn the most, do the most. So, bro, I think it's a good look, man.
Bro, I interviewed a couple DBs from my hometown that played in the NFL for like 4 to 5 years. One played at Boston College, one played at Northwestern, these big universities. And I had to ask him the question, man. Deion Sanders walk in your living room and says he wants to in his defensive backfield. Like, are you really turning that down? And they like, man, there's no way I'm turning that down. It don't matter if he at
Exactly.
Jackson State, Appalachian State, Central State.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like this is Dion. Like
Exactly.
what are you gonna tell him? Like,
It
no, I
don't
think I'll be better over here.
exactly like
No.
it don't matter where he at, they going. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it, man. And you can already tell, like I said earlier, I've been there a few months. You can already tell he's making significant changes
Yeah.
to the program and really getting those guys the exposure that they need.
Yeah, man. Like I said, those guys are about to show out this year. I hope he does well, because if he does well, like you said, it's going to be a tidal wave, man.
Exactly.
Everybody going to jump on the train.
It's coming, man. Last
Yeah.
question. Have you received your stimulus check?
Yes. Yes, I have.
I was
no, we're going to get into it. I was waiting just like every other American. My check hit January 1st, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Bro, I got mine too. And I hadn't even checked my account. Because I got through my job, I got some things divided up, so I don't see certain amounts of money that I'm saving.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister, I got a twin sister, and she had texted me like, I got my stimulus check. I'm like, for real? Like what? Like, oh damn, okay. So I checked my account. I was like, yeah. I'm like, wow, it's yeah, that how fast it happened. That's how you know, like literally, the United States government can literally do anything they want to do, like whenever they want. The fact that the bill passed, the fact that the bill passed last week, and then people start getting money like literally days after that, like it's just, it's
look, man. When you think of it in the grand scheme of things, money is just a piece of paper.
Exactly.
If you look at it like that, like you can literally create it.
Exactly.
Like it's just out of thin air. Like it in the grand scheme of things, it means nothing, but it means everything in America. It's the craziest thing.
Right.
Like it's literally a green piece of paper.
Like you said,
and people go crazy for it.
Like you said, it means nothing, but
it means everything. It's the craziest thing, man.
That's like the best analogy, to be honest.
Yeah.
So let's dive in your childhood, man. Quitman, Georgia native. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Quitman, Georgia native.
Georgia. Yes.
You got to give me an inside look, man, on how it was growing up there, the culture there, because obviously I've never interviewed or for that matter met anyone from maybe a small town in Georgia. Ever since I've been in Atlanta, I've met some people from some small towns, but those kinds of people were my first time ever meeting those kind of people. And I know you attended Brooks County High School, so just kind of give me an inside look on what's growing up there. How many people were in your hometown? Was it a predominantly white hometown? Were there black people? Just kind of walk me through what it was like growing up there in the 90s.
Yeah, so my hometown is Jacksonville, Florida. I was born there, right?
Okay.
But my grandparents stayed in Quitman, so I was there. Me and my sisters, we would stay there every summer anyway.
Okay.
So I was growing up in Jacksonville, but over the summer break, I was at my grandparents the entire time. So I was familiar with it, but I ended up going to Quitman permanently in high school. So the crazy thing was, in ninth grade high school, I didn't play football at all because I had to stay home after school and watch my sisters. Okay. So I came up with this grand scheme in my 14-year-old head. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to move to Quitman so I can play football. So we've been going up there every summer anyway. Okay. So I go up there, I moved in with my grandparents, and complete 180. My high school in Jacksonville had 2,500 people. I went to Edward High School my ninth grade year. Okay. Quitman, Georgia probably has 3,000, 4,000 people total.
In the city. Wow.
In the city.
I know that was
I'm not even gonna call it a city. Quitman is a town.
Yeah, town.
It's definitely a town. The high school had, I say, 600 students. My graduating class at Brooks County was 99 people.
Wow.
99 people was in my senior class. So, but yeah, Quitman is a very small town, man, but it's very, rural area. Where I stayed at, my grandparents had land, so it was 6 acres of land. Okay. Nobody else around. Like if you want to go to the grocery store, you got to drive 15 minutes into town. If you want to go to the mall, you got to drive 30 minutes to Valdosta, Georgia. Like so super small town. Yeah. It's majority white, small town, but it's definitely a bunch of black people there too. So it's not like
Okay.
a super uneven balance. So
Okay.
you'll see, kind of all walks of life there.
How long did it take you to get used to that way of living coming from a normal city like Jacksonville?
I definitely had to get used to it, man. Like when I first got there, I was like, I can't do this. I got to go back to Jacksonville.
Right, right,
Like
right.
it's, like I said, it's super small. Everybody knew everybody. Like
Yeah,
it was almost like I was a new student. Like
yeah.
you go to a big school, you're a new student. Nobody
Mhm.
notices because there's 2,000 other people there.
Right.
When I got the equipment, everybody was like, "Who is this guy and where is he from?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Because
come already know.
I came from Jacksonville. They're like, all these people have gone to school with each other from elementary on to high
Mm-hmm,
school.
mm-hmm.
It's
So,
Brooks County Elementary, Brooks County Middle, Brooks County High.
that's
That's
crazy.
it.
So yeah, you
Yeah.
come in, everybody like, who is this guy? Like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who is he? So that
What?
was kind of crazy. Like, everybody was like, who are you? Where are you from?
Yeah.
Crazy thing is, I found out I was related to like 6 different people. That's how, small the town is because my grandfather is from Quitman.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so we got a lot of family up there.
Yeah. So
So,
everybody knew your grandfather. So your name kind of rung bells a little bit.
yeah, like my grandfather's brother, James Maxwell, he's the county commissioner. So
Oh wow, wow.
yeah.
That's your
So that's a
uncle.
crazy thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like my
Okay.
great uncle. So anybody asks you like, you kin to the Maxwells? Like, yeah, like who do you know? James Maxwell? I'm like, yeah, he's the county commissioner.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's my cousin. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, all right,
Okay.
just gonna roll with it.
Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So,
That
yep.
makes sense. So, so you said you went to high school in Jacksonville in ninth grade, then went there in 10th. When
Mm,
when when would you say you started coming to your own? And as athletes, we all know this. We all know that time period when we started getting those letters. We hit that growth spurt. We really started to get strong in the weight room. We started
yeah.
we started getting those letters, those interests, and then maybe the offers started coming in. So when was that for you? Because for me, it was 10th grade. And I know,
Mm.
did you play basketball in high school too? Because I remember in 2013, we shooting the rock. I say you dunking. And I like
I was just like,
that. I
I
like that.
played.
How does dude 310 dunking?
I played no basketball in high school.
Oh,
So
you
I
didn't play?
played.
Okay.
No, I did football. I only played football 11th and 12th grade year. I didn't play
Wow.
ninth or 10th, and I did track my senior year. I did shot put and discus.
Okay. Wow. So you only
Yeah,
played 2 years of high school football.
2 years, junior
So
senior year.
so your 11th grade year, what was that like? Was it like just a total new experience for you or what?
It was because up until that point, I mean, I had only played little league. Like I played little league. I think I played up until in Jacksonville. They got middle school ball, so I played my 8th grade year,
Mm-hmm.
and how old was I? I was probably what 12, 13. That was the
Mm-hmm.
last time I played ball. So
Mm-hmm.
I get to high school, and then it's not like Georgia. They have good football players there.
Mm-hmm.
So I get my first game. I'm like, man, like this is really high school ball.
Yeah.
But at that point, like I said, I ended my 9th grade year. I was 5'9", 220. By the time I hit my senior year of high school, I was 6'1", 240.
mm, mm. So
So it
you
wasn't like,
So yeah, you filled out. You grew a lot, but it sounds like
mm,
you gained 20 pounds, but you grew like 5 inches or something like
yeah. And I needed it, bro. Like you can't be 5'9".
that.
No disrespect to the 5'9" guys either.
Right,
5'9"
right.
playing the line though, that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that they
It's not gonna work.
so I'm glad I finally hit like around 6'1", 6'2". And
Yeah.
then I started getting my first letters my senior year. I really didn't hear
Okay.
anything my junior year. I
Yeah.
played O line and D line, but
Okay.
my senior year came around.
Yeah.
That's when I started getting letters and stuff like that. Started getting recruited, so it was a good
Okay.
feel.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what what did it feel like when that feeling came over you? Like you said, and for you it was a bit later in the game. Like for me, it was 10th grade. I started getting interest early. Started getting recruited. I got my first like Mac offer right before my junior year started. So for you, since it didn't come till late for you, what did it feel like?
Mm.
When did you put in your conscious mind like, oh no, okay, this could be an actual thing. Like I can actually maybe go to school for free on a football scholarship. Like when did that come
Yeah.
for you?
I say my senior year. Like I said, I played my junior year, and the crazy thing was I wasn't even thinking about like football scholarships or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was just playing because I liked to play football.
Mm-hmm,
Like I
mm-hmm.
didn't start thinking about colleges until that first letter came. And the crazy thing was, like, I never got recruited by any big schools. It was always like D1 AA. But my
Okay.
first like little, what do you call those things? Like the little prospect letters.
Mm-hmm,
I got
mm-hmm,
one
mm-hmm.
from Auburn. So
Okay.
it came from Auburn. I'm thinking like, oh, they finna offer me a scholarship, blah blah blah. Like
Oh, I
that was
know.
not the case. It was
I know
just one
you
of
was
those little
hype.
introductions. Yeah, but it was looking back on it, just one of those little introductory letters or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, like I said back then, I thought, oh, I'm about to go. I could actually go to college and do this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. But obviously, senior year coaches start coming, talking to you, pulling you out of class.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right, I could really do this thing,
Yeah.
and and
And
that's kind of
so,
how it happened.
okay. And so once you started getting that interest, were you at the point where it was like, okay, I don't care where I go as long as I go for free? Or once you started getting those D1 offers, was Georgia Southern the only D1 offer you had? Did you have any interest on playing at UGA or Georgia Tech? You probably didn't because you wasn't from Georgia anyway. So
Yeah,
you probably didn't care. But what was that like once you got Georgia Southern? Was that just your only Division I offer? You say, okay, I'm gonna go here, or did you consider any other schools?
yeah. So the funny thing is, and I tell you, like growing up, like Florida, between Florida and Georgia, I was a Florida State fan growing up.
Okay,
So
okay,
I always wanted to play at Florida State. I was like, I'm gonna go play at Florida State.
yeah,
The crazy thing is, I started getting recruited, and the coach at Georgia Southern at the time was Chris Hatcher,
okay,
and he came to our football banquet at Brooks County, our senior football banquet. I
okay,
had never heard of Georgia Southern
okay,
before, ever.
yeah.
And he came up and he spoke to me. He's like, "How would you like to play at Georgia Southern?" He had just left Valdosta State to take the Georgia Southern job. This was
Mm,
his first season there was 2007.
okay,
Year I graduated high school,
yeah.
and my dad laughed at him when he said it. Chris Hatcher was like, "What's so funny?" And but that was all like, "Oh, that's it. I'll let Junior talk to you, whatever."
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, sure, I'd like to go play at Georgia Southern, but I say the most serious offers I had at Georgia Southern, like I said, Bethune-Cookman,
Mm-hmm.
Eastern Kentucky, and then there was like a few other smaller schools like University of the Cumberlands,
Okay,
like
okay,
schools like that.
okay, okay.
And the only visit I took was Georgia Southern.
Yeah, yeah.
And the crazy thing is, I was going to commit to Eastern Kentucky because I was talking to that coach the most.
Mm-hmm.
And my Eastern Kentucky visit was after the weekend Georgia Southern gave
Mm-hmm.
me their visit.
Okay.
So I didn't commit to Georgia Southern that weekend, and it
Mm-hmm.
was crazy. The Eastern Kentucky coach called me 2 days later and was like, "Hey, we signed another guy.
Oh
That was our
wow.
last spot. So
Oh,
I
so
would
they
go
so
ahead and
so
take
they
Georgia Southern."
so they recanted their offer.
Yeah, they
Wow.
signed the guy from Valdosta. Actually, it was got like 30 minutes away. They're
Wow.
like, if you want to go to Georgia Southern, go ahead and commit. I was like, all right. So I committed to Georgia Southern, and the
Okay.
rest is
Okay.
history.
Yeah. And the rest is history.
Yeah.
That's a wild story. So
Mhm.
talk about your transition to Georgia Southern. I know it's a PWI, but like you said, you came from Quitman, Georgia, where it was mostly white people, but you had some black people as well. Now
Yeah.
I know that Georgia Southern is predominantly white, but I know it's a lot of black people there too because I've met a bunch of people who went to Georgia Southern since I've been in Atlanta.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm
So I
telling you, we have. I think
so
it's
I know it's black people there too.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I know when I went, it was 31 to 32% black. I
Okay,
think
okay.
so. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Considering, yeah.
yeah. I
I
went
think
to
we had what 21,000 students total. So
mhm.
30% black. I mean, that's a good
Yeah.
mix.
That's decent. That's almost half. I went to the
Yeah,
University of Iowa, and man, University of Iowa is like 96% white, like something crazy, bro.
yeah, that's
Like
outrageous.
yeah, it was hardly no black people there.
Yeah.
Like seriously. So my transition, I always tell guys, transition is really tough because I grew up in the inner city of Cleveland, so I grew up always around black people, and
Mm,
the only white people I ever encountered was one or two students here or there in middle school, high school, maybe if they like grew up in the hood or something, and some teachers. You got some teachers that's white, but
yeah.
I never had any white friends. I never hung out with any white people. Like I never been
Mm.
into any white malls. I never been into any white areas really, except to play football and basketball games.
That's what I'm saying. Like, going from Cleveland to Iowa had to be like two different total ends of
bro,
the spectrum.
bro, do you understand? Like it took me like 4 to 5 months to even feel comfortable, to even felt like I belonged there. Like
That's
because
crazy, bro.
because when I first got there, being from Cleveland, we spoke a certain kind of way. We would say certain words like, "Oh, for sure," like that
Yeah.
means sure, and "Oh, it's
Mm,
going." That mean like, "Oh, it's hype." Like so, just
yeah.
different things that I used to say. A lot of white people that I would meet or try to befriend, they would literally not understand what I was saying. They couldn't like, oh, what are you trying to say? Like, so it was just a
Yeah.
weird. I felt like an outcast, if you will, because you don't speak their language, you don't look like them. When you enter
Mm.
classrooms, say it's 200 people in a lecture, it's literally 2 or 3 black people, and there's some kind of athlete, either a football or basketball player. So
Yeah.
that created a little bit of anxiety for me because you just wonder, do you belong here and stuff like that. So
Mm.
it took me a while to get used to it.
Yeah, that's my thing, man. Once I got to college, my group of friends has always been very diverse. Like I grew up trying to be cool with everybody. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't try to put myself in a box. Like
yeah,
I treat everybody the same, man. It's like you either
yeah.
want to be cool with me or not. But I'm
That's
gonna be the
yeah.
same way throughout. So
And that's one thing I noticed about you when we met. I think obviously we just hit it off naturally.
mm,
But like you said, that's one thing that I noticed. You treated everybody the same. You were very easygoing. You was a very easygoing dude.
yeah,
Joke around. Friends with black guys, friends with white guys. So that was always the
that's what I'm saying, man. I'm a politician. I'm shaking hands and kissing babies, bro. You
right.
never know. My
And
thing was, man,
and
it's like you
drinking
never
Bud
know who
Light.
you might be. And drinking Bud Light, the beer was so cheap in Green Bay. Oh my goodness. I
Right.
walked in the store. I'm like, these prices here, it's ridiculous. Like I almost got to buy a case. Like it's insane not to.
Right. So
Yeah.
tell me, bro, what moments stuck out to you during your career at Georgia Southern? I read a few articles on you, and they were all pretty much just the coaches giving you rave reviews, like starting guard for 1 or 2 seasons, and then I think you switched to center either your junior or senior year, and you transitioned to that very well. So
Mm.
it seems like you had a super illustrious career there. So what moments stood out to you there?
Yeah, man. I got there, like I said, 2007. I was 260 soaking wet my freshman year,
Yeah.
redshirted. And then after I redshirted 2007, I
How much
started
weight?
4 years.
How much weight did you gain during your redshirt year?
Bro, my redshirt year, I was 260. I think the next year, I was starting at left tackle against UGA.
Oh wow!
I was,
Y'all played
yes,
UGA the first game.
bro. They were number one. They had Matt Stafford. AJ Green was a freshman.
Oh, that's
No
when they.
Sean Marino. Yeah,
That's when they had them horses.
yes.
Was Justin Houston there?
Justin Houston, he wasn't there. He was after that. Geno
Okay.
Atkins was there.
Oh wow! Oh
Geno
wow!
Atkins was a junior on that defensive line, and I'm a freshman
Um,
playing left tackle at
he
275.
he was an animal. Geno Atkins. He's still an animal.
I wanted nothing to do with that guy when we got out there. But it was a cool experience, man. Like I started out playing tackle. When I first got there, we ran a spread offense. It was pretty much air raid. We threw the ball every play.
Yeah.
And then my junior year, we hired Coach Jeff Monken. They're at Army now, but
Mhm.
he brought the triple option back. And, Georgia Southern, big triple option school. That's all they ever ran. Fans,
Mhm.
that's all they want to see. So
Yeah.
Jeff Monken came, man. It was like a switch. We started running the option,
Mhm.
and things turned around for us. Like I said, I started 4 years. Um,
4 year
and
starter. You started at tackle, guard, and center.
tackle, guard. I was a tackle my freshman year, guard sophomore, junior year. Then my senior year, the first 9 games I started at guard, and then the last 5 I moved to center.
Wow. Wow. That's
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
when it comes to O lineman, that's unheard of. Most guys, if they started at tackle, they may move in a guard, but it's unheard
mm,
of to start the center too. So that's a testament to your ability.
yeah. And the crazy thing about it was, it's funny. It was the week before our conference championship game,
Mhm.
and I was playing guard all year. And offensive line coach came up to me and he was like, "What do you think about playing center this week?" And I was like, sure, I'd be down to do it. I didn't have any problem. I'll do whatever y'all need me to do.
Mhm.
He was like, "When's the last time you played center?" I was like, eighth grade.
and center that's a different muscle memory because you have to be quick feet to be able to snap the ball and get to the left, get to the right. Like
Bro, that's the hardest thing in the world. Is anybody will tell you, you have to make sure the ball gets to the quarterback,
mm-hmm.
and you have to
And still
make sure
block.
you. The worst feeling in the world is you snap the ball and you hear the crowd go, "Oh!" That means somebody done fumbled, and
Uh-huh.
it's always going to be your fault. So
Uh-huh.
that was my main thing. I was like, just don't mess up the snap. That's all I had to worry about. But
Right.
it
Right.
turned out great, man.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Okay. So that game was UGA. Was that like the fondest thing that stood out to you, or what was the fondest thing that stood out to you during your career starting 4 years?
Um, I said UGA. That was my first college football game, so that stood out. I said the second fondest thing would be App State in 2010. They were
Okay.
number one in the nation. They were 8-0. We were 4-4.
Okay.
We upset them at home in double over. It wasn't double overtime. It was single overtime, but we won that game.
Okay.
Probably the best memory ever in college. And then third, I said we won our conference championship my senior year.
Oh wow, nice, nice.
You
And
got
that
to
was
think
the Southeastern Conference, right?
SoCon.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Southern Conference,
Okay.
SoCon for
Southern
short.
Conference. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Got you. Got you.
yeah.
So, talk about the 2012 NFL Draft. Were you hearing from any teams? Did you? I'm sure you had a great pro day. Did you know that you would go
Mhm.
undrafted? What was your outlook on the draft process during that time?
My thing was, like I said, my senior year was probably, well, definitely my best season. I was all conference. I was second team All American.
Hmm.
I honestly didn't think, I would get to the NFL. I was 6'2". I was like 300 pounds.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm
that's
not really thinking about it too
that's
much.
perfect. That's perfect for a center or guard.
I know. At center or guard, that's pretty straight numbers. But
Yeah.
I didn't think too much about it, and it was crazy. A scout from Denver came to campus one day,
Mhm.
and they pulled me aside and talked to me, and that's when I was really like, you know what, I might be able to do it.
Okay.
So,
Okay. What kind of
so
DAGs? Just like about technique or formations or?
yeah, it wasn't even that. It was kind of like, I'm so and so from the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself,
Okay.
things like that. Like it wasn't like super, oh, we're interested or anything.
Yeah. 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 I
But the
got you.
fact that they were even talking to me, I'm like, oh, they, actually notice who I am
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
whatnot.
mm-hmm,
So that was pretty cool. And
mm-hmm.
I got an agent. Um, I didn't do anything fancy. I literally had my strength coach at the time draw me up something. I trained for the pro day by myself,
Mm-hmm.
or me and another guy, Brett Moore. He played offensive line with me, but he was going to try as a long snapper.
Okay. Okay.
And we were kind of like, at least try and see what happens.
Is it?
Do that. So
Yeah. That's not
yeah,
too.
so we worked out together and everything. Just went out to the practice field, did our drills and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Pro day came around. I had a really good pro day. I think I weighed 311 on my
Okay.
pro day.
Okay.
I had 30 bench press reps.
Wow.
I had my vert was a 30, which
Okay. Which
was
is
not
good.
bad for a line. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
about to say for
Yeah.
O
Yeah.
line, that's not bad.
For a guy over 300.
Yeah, broad jump was like 9.7.
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
So 40 time, I wasn't fast. I ran a 5.22, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
still, it's just typical lineman numbers.
Yeah. 5'2" is still pretty good. You sometimes
Yeah,
you see some guys run 5'6", 5'7".
I'm saying, bro, we had a guy there. I'm not even gonna say where he's from. I don't want to embarrass the school, but he got invited to our pro day,
Mm.
and Buddy got out there and ran a 5.79. They told him go ahead and get your stuff and
Yeah. Yeah. Hang, hang it up, sir.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah,
So
man.
after the draft process,
Mhm.
walk me through draft day. I mean, like if I can go off of what you're saying, draft day probably wasn't a big deal for you because you weren't expecting anything anyway. So
Yeah,
when you didn't get picked up, it wasn't like a big deal for you, huh?
nah, I knew I wasn't getting drafted. Like I'm a realist, man. I'm not like one of these guys that there's a slight chance you'll be picked in the sixth or seventh round. I'm like, nah, look, I know I'm not getting drafted.
Yeah, yeah,
I watched the drafts. I'm like, man, whatever happens, happens.
yeah,
Like my
yeah,
dad had a cookout and everything. He was super excited for it. I'm like, Dad, I'm not getting drafted, man. I'm like, it is what it is.
yeah,
And
yeah,
of course, I did not get drafted.
yeah.
But the crazy thing was, I think the next week I was sitting in class,
Mhm.
and the Panthers called me.
Okay.
They was like, "Hey, man, we want to invite you to rookie minicamp."
Oh,
I'm
so
like,
you did get a Ricky Minicamp invite?
"Yeah, I went to
Okay,
rookie minicamp with the Carolina
okay,
Panthers," and I was
okay.
like, hey, "Hell yeah, I want to go." so, so I
So,
hung up the phone. I'm in class
yeah, yeah,
at
yeah.
the time.
Did you walk out or did you just stay? Did
I
you
walked
stay?
out. I walked out.
Like,
I told
sorry,
my
I'm about to go play for the Panthers. I need to leave.
exact. I talked about my buddy Brand Davis. He played football with me at Georgia Southern. So I looked at him and I said, "Hey man, the Panthers just invited me to rookie minicamp." He was like, "For real?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Crazy.
Just like I'm walking out. I'm gonna sit in class for this kind of news.
Right, right,
But
right.
yeah, that was a big night for me, man. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I actually got a chance to do it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I tell guys all the
Mhm.
time. it's so many guys that even like me that's all you want is that rookie minicamp invite. Just go in there and compete. So
Yeah.
tell me this: when you got to Carolina and you put that helmet on, now you know that you're not signed yet. You still got to do a lot to make the team, but
Yeah.
still just putting on that helmet, bro. Like, and it probably wasn't because I know you didn't start playing football until 11th grade,
Yeah.
but I started playing football when I was 8. So like the idea of putting on an NFL helmet, that's all that I wanted to touch, bro. So like, was that
Yeah.
like what was that like for you? Was it like a jovial feeling, or was it like oh nah, okay, I'm here, but I got to go compete to make the team?
I'm not gonna lie, I was happy as hell just to get in there, man, because not
Right,
not
right.
like, not everybody gets that chance,
I'm telling
and
you,
I'm just like, bro, I'm really here. Like no matter what happens, like I could say that I was actually here.
exactly,
Like I
exactly,
put on the helmet, I got all the free gloves and stuff. They let you keep it
exactly.
when you leave. I had the
Yeah,
sweatshirt, the
uh-huh.
slides. I'm like, I'm an NFL player for 3 days, at least, So I'm gonna go out
You gonna
here.
ride it
I'm gonna
out,
take this
yeah.
little 3 day vacation, man. I'm in the NFL. Yeah,
Right,
I
ride it
went. I
out,
did the best I could, man. I competed. I'm
yeah.
just like, that draft class. I think I know the first two picks for sure. Luke Kuechly and Josh Norman. Those were the first two guys.
Oh, wow. See, I
Yeah,
forgot
that
they
was
were in our draft class.
that was that
Okay,
year. And I think
okay,
the lineman they drafted was Amini Silatulu. He was a second round pick, and I was
okay. I
behind
remember
him.
him. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
was
but
behind him all camp.
yeah, man, you're gonna have to.
Yeah,
If you have any pictures, you're gonna have to blow those up, put them in the man cave. Hey, man, I was in the NFL for 3 days.
I
I
do
made
have
it.
some. I do have some. I got two pictures from that thing, and I think I got one on Instagram for sure. It's one of
Yeah,
the first pictures I posted. And then I got another one where I'm actually like in the helmet.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna blow those up, man.
Hey, man,
Yeah, like it's a
might as
great
well.
experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, we in our 30s, man. Hey, you gotta take heed to those experiences, man. So talk about the time from what June 2012 when you were in mini camp with
Mhm.
the Panthers to January 2013 when we met when you came to
Yeah.
play for the Green Bay Blizzard. Did you hear from any other teams after the Panthers? I'm sure you continued to train.
Mhm.
Did you have to go home and start working? Because I remember that time in my life from June 2012 to January 2013. That was like the darkest. That was probably the darkest time of my life, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I had to move out of Iowa City. I had to go back home to
Mhm.
Cleveland. I hadn't heard from any teams, and I didn't end up getting a tryout from with the Green Bay Packers until that December. So from
Yeah.
June to December, I'm applying jobs in Cleveland. I'm not getting no interviews. I'm working. I think
Yeah, man.
my first job after college, I did landscaping with like all felons.
So I
Like,
I
and then,
know.
I did that. I did that for 3 months, and I said, "Man, bro, I can like no, this is ridiculous." And so then I started shuttle driving. I was a shuttle driver for Marriott, and then in like this nice area in this like suburban area. So I would be taking like
Yeah.
business professionals to like their meetings or out to dinner, and they would tip me. I mean,
Mhm.
bro, and I was a college graduate, like, and I was still training 5, 6 times a week. I
That's
was
the
locked in
craziest
on
part.
yeah, I was locked in on my training, but for whatever
Mhm.
reason, I don't know if I didn't have the resources, if I wasn't applying for the right jobs, but I couldn't land an interview for like a decent job because growing up, that's what your parents always tell you, like go to college,
Yeah.
get a degree, then you're able to get a good job. So I'm like, okay, got a degree,
Exactly.
yeah, okay, I'm gonna get a good job, like,
Exactly.
but I was, but I wasn't landing the interviews, man. So how was that time for you? Because for me, it was just a really hard time.
It was crazy, man. Like I said, I was rookie mini camp 3 days. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, thanks for coming. We'll let you know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The next week, the Baltimore Ravens called me. They were like, "Hey, this is so and so from the Ravens. Would you like to come to camp with us?"
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. Would love to come to camp.
Yeah.
Never heard from them again.
So they told you that they would sign you for training camp.
A guy called me. Look, I'm telling you, a guy called me and said, "Would you like to come? Be a Raven?" Absolutely. All right. We'll be in touch. I'm gonna call you back, let you know how we can get you up here, all that good stuff. I never heard from him again.
Did you call them back? Did you text them? Did you?
Called him back, but didn't answer.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm like, all right, maybe he'll call me back. Never heard from him again.
Wow.
So it's like, whatever. So I'll go on. So I was still in Statesboro at the time. I was
Mm-hmm.
working out 4 or 5 days a week, staying ready just in case I heard anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was working at the bar there.
Yeah,
I
because
was a bouncer.
yeah,
Yep,
you because you did that in college too, right? I remember you
yeah,
told me that. Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
I was a bouncer, and then I would clean up the bar at night and in the mornings to get everything set up.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
was pretty much, I mean, for lack of a better word, I was a janitor.
Right,
Janitor by day, a bouncer at night, working at this
right.
bar. And, I was getting paid. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Gotta do what
just
you gotta do.
still a Georgia Southern,
Yeah.
still hanging out. And I was just like, man, I'm really that guy. I done graduated, played football, and I'm still here not doing anything.
Right, right,
So you start thinking about it a little bit, man. It's like damn, I got to do something.
right, right,
But I told myself, I was like, I got to minicamp. I'm gonna give myself 5 years to make it. If I don't make it in 5 years, I'm done with it. So that was
right,
my
right,
thing. So
right, right.
didn't really stress too much about it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Fast forward to January
mm-hmm.
of Green Bay. It wasn't even January, I think. I
Oh yeah,
got there.
you came
It was
later.
mid-season. It was mid-season.
Yeah. So you
It
came
was
like March or April?
it was April.
Okay,
And then
okay.
I think Coach Pate, he gave me a call and was like, you want to come over and play at Green Bay. Coach Pate was a coach at Georgia Southern back in like the late '90s, 2000s.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, so that's why I got hooked up with that. It's like sure. I had never heard of the IFL, never
Me
heard
either.
of the Green Bay Blizzard. Yeah, so I was like,
Me either.
it's an opportunity to play, so I'll
Yeah.
go ahead and take it. So
Yeah, it's always dope to hear guys'
mm,
journey, like how they got there. I remember for me, I tried out for the Green Bay Packers that December 2012. They flew me out there, tried out. Clay Matthews is hurt, so they needed like a 3-4 outside linebacker.
mm,
Uh, then they flew me back to Cleveland. They didn't end up signing me because the very next game, Aaron Rodgers like broke his clavicle or something, so they ended up having to sign the quarterback. Uh,
that's crazy.
yeah. Instead of a rush linebacker. So my agent was like, "Man, well, this is arena team up there in Green Bay." He had been talking to the player personnel guy for the Packers. He was telling my agent how you time to go to those games and look at picks. So I was
Yeah,
okay. So my agent was like, "Yeah, so if you go up here and play like and you ball out, do your thing, they'll be at one of those games. They're going to come check them out." And I said, "Well, yeah, sign me up." Like you said, never heard of the IFL either.
mm,
I was trying to just ball out, go crazy, and maybe give myself an opportunity to get in the Packers rookie minicamp in 2013, since we'll already be out there
exactly.
anyway.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, I started every game, as you know. But to be honest,
mm,
and I got to be honest, like a lot of times athletes they be lying to themselves. They be like not keeping it 1,000. I don't. I,
yeah,
I don't feel like I balled out. I don't feel like I was dominant as I needed to be to give myself a chance to get that minicamp invite. I played
mm,
okay. I was a solid starting player, but I don't think I went crazy enough. But it's always cool to hear guys transition, and it's funny because I remember I didn't play after that season. We all left. I didn't play in
mm,
2014 or 2015. I was just doing CFL trials for 2 years. Then I played again in 2016. That was my last time I played for the Iowa Barnstormers. But I know you
mm.
went back. You played in 2014, and then
I did.
you played in the AFL 2014 and 15 and 16. I can't remember how it went, but I just remember
Yeah,
you played again and you balled and you moved up to the AFL and played there for a
yeah,
while too.
yeah. So like I said, I played 6 games when what was it 2013 with the Blizzard. And like I said, I went up there. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't even know. Like I said, I got there on a Tuesday, and I was playing in the game that Saturday.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it was like crazy. I'm like, I'm up here. So I played those final 6 games. Started, and then they asked me, you want to come back next year? I'm like, sure. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. I'm like, I'm playing football.
Right.
I'm not making much money, but I want to
Right,
play, want to get film.
you're
Yeah,
doing what you love. You're doing what you
yeah,
love, and you getting current film, and that's what a lot of
exactly,
times what guys don't understand. Guys, guys be thinking that they're too good to play arena, but it's like if if a coach does come across your film, or if an agent pitches you to a coach, they're going to want to see current film. They're not going to want to see your college film because it's usually a year or two old.
exactly,
So they want to
exactly, and
see
that's
you
what
playing. They want to see you actively playing.
exactly. You got to be doing something. Like
Exactly.
you're not going to be going to these random workouts and just jump straight to the NFL. They're not looking
Exactly.
at college film like 2 years removed from you playing. So
Exactly.
you got to be doing something, man. So I was looking at it like I'm still playing. I'm getting film out there. Let's see
Mm-hmm.
what happens.
So
But
where did that Orlando opportunity come from to play in the AFL? Because it seemed like because you started there, you played there for what, like 2 seasons too, right?
yeah, 2015, 2016.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So where? Because I know you probably killed in the IFL. And then, uh, did one of those coaches get you that look to Orlando, or did the Orlando coaches just kind of contact you or heard about you, watch some film?
Hit me up on Facebook. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy. I played 2014 in Green Bay. I got second team, like all IFL center
yeah.
or whatever. And then I think I was working in Green Bay at a lumber yard. Something that the team owner got us.
Okay, okay.
And I was driving like forklifts and everything. Man, I was like, this is miserable. something, something got to come about. But the
Yeah, yeah,
GM from Orlando hit me up and was like, hey man, like we watched your film with the IFL. We want to know if you want to come play in Orlando. I was
yeah.
like, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
anything to get me out of this
Yeah,
cold winter
right.
here in
And
Green
you
Bay.
and
Yeah.
you back in Florida. And you back in Florida.
And I'm back in Florida. So that's
Yeah,
how that
yeah,
happened. They hit me up on Facebook. I agreed. They sent the contract.
yeah,
And I ended up in Orlando, played
yeah.
2 seasons.
Yeah, I remember you
So
played 2 seasons. It seemed like
mhm.
it seemed like you stayed pretty healthy and balled out there too. Y'all had some solid seasons those years, right?
We did. We went to the playoffs both years. I lost in the first round both years. When I got there, I didn't play my first game. It was similar to Green Bay. I didn't play until like week 8.
Okay.
So I got there. They had a bunch of AFL vets, guys
Yeah,
that knew the game and everything. So
yeah.
of course I was disappointed. I'm like, I can play, blah blah blah. But
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'll get my shot.
Yeah.
And then somebody got hurt, and I finally got in, and I started there ever since playing center. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah. My
yeah,
I know a couple guys that really excelled in that league. You and I know my boy Arvell Nelson.
yeah, quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy, he's an animal.
Yeah, yeah.
That guy's an
Yeah,
animal.
he tore the league up for years.
Yeah, yeah, that guy, he can ball
Yeah, yeah.
for
He
for sure.
uh he won the Arena Bowl. He won well his team won a championship, I think, 2018. He's with the Washington Valor, and he won Arena Bowl MVP.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I remember that.
He started off at Iowa with me, then he transferred and went to Texas Southern. And yeah, he been in the NFL, I think like 6, 7 or 8 years. So
Mhm.
um it's cool to still see him out there doing it. And he's undecided right now, but I think he still wants to play. So it's God, I hate when guys think that they're too good for the AFL, man. You still getting a check, you still doing what you love to do, and you still creating memories, and you're meeting all these different people, all your different teammates. You're cultivating all these different relationships, and
Exactly, man. Like
you really can't get that stuff back.
you can't, and it's football anywhere. Just the best thing is like just meeting the guys and building that camaraderie and all that.
Exactly,
Like
exactly.
Green Bay, some of the best times of my life.
I
Just
know, man. We had a
cutting up
ball.
with y'all, man. Oh my goodness.
We used to have a ball, bro.
We acted a damn fool in Green Bay.
I'm telling
I
you,
still talk about those times.
I'm telling you,
It's
me too.
crazy.
It's crazy that I had who did I have? I had BJ Hill on the show a couple weeks ago,
Mm,
and I had I'm gonna have Darius on soon and Tim Shelley. So it's cool
yeah,
that all these years removed, that was 7 years ago, well 8 years ago now,
yeah,
but we still talk from time to time, like you know what I'm saying, and that's what football is. It's a brotherhood, and it's just when you meet guys, you're all you guys. Even if you don't speak for 5 years, when you do talk,
yeah.
it's like you just saw each other yesterday.
Exactly. I'm like I said, you don't forget stuff like that, man. You
Yeah.
you practice together, eat together.
Hmm.
Most of us, stay with each other, roommates, all that stuff.
Exactly. And I
I
didn't stay.
still
I didn't stay with y'all, but I was at the house every day, every
exactly,
day, just,
exactly,
just chilling out, just relaxing.
exactly, man. Like I said, you build a brotherhood, man. I
Yeah,
still keep in touch with like all the linemen I played with up there, like
yeah,
AB, Chris
yeah,
Gavitt.
yeah,
I
yeah,
still
yeah,
talk to them like every other week, really. So,
yeah. That's what's up,
it's a
man.
brotherhood, man.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I'm telling you. So I know you said you played in Orlando 2015 and 2016. I played it
Mm,
with the Iowa Barnstormers in 2016. I didn't play the whole season. I've only played like 10 games, but I balled out. I got like 2 players of the weeks and everything that I needed to do for film wise, I did it. But after that season, I think 2017 was really when I told myself. I think I was like 28. That's what kind of when I told myself like, okay, I did everything that I could do. I tried out for every CFL team. I played 2 years of arena football. I went swinging, but that was when I really told myself like I think that I'm done. And I got to be honest, it was a hard time for me, man. I felt as athletes, we're super hard on ourselves. We always want to be our best and do the best. I think that maybe I was too hard on myself, but I mean, to be honest, I just felt like I underachieved. So
Mm-hmm.
it took me a long time to get over that the game was done, that I would never strap it up again, that I would have to accept what I had done and also what I had not done. So
Yeah.
was it a day for you where you just decided that you were done, or was it kind of like a time period? Was it just like a transition for you, or did you kind of know after 2016 that you were kind of ready to hang it up? And I know
Mm-hmm.
you said you would give yourself 5 years. So
Yeah.
was that you just sticking to it?
Yeah. So 2016, I think that was my fourth year. That
Okay,
was my fourth year of arena football.
okay,
And I was going to come back 2017 and play.
okay.
I was like, I'm gonna give it one more year. If nothing happens, I'm good
Done.
with it. I gave
Yeah,
it my best shot. It is what it is.
yeah.
And Orlando ended up folding. The team folded.
I remember hearing about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
The Orlando Predators folded. And there was like three other teams that folded too. And I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
All at
man,
the same time. I remember reading an article about that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So when Orlando folded, I was like, that's it. Like I'm not like
Yes.
this. The league seems shaky. There's four
Yeah.
teams folding. I'm not
Yeah.
moving to another city to play
Mhm,
again. Like
mhm,
that's it
mhm.
for me. So
Yeah. Especially, I
yeah.
mean, of course, like who would leave? Who would want to leave Orlando?
Exactly. Hey, look, man, I got down here and
Yeah,
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 Orlando's a pretty decent city, man. I like it a lot. Like I
yeah,
felt like it was something here for everybody to do, man.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
just like, I don't went from Green Bay to Orlando.
Hmm,
I
hmm.
think the only teams left at that point, I mean, Washington was getting the team. Then I think
Washington was new.
Columbus.
Washington was
Yeah,
new because that's where my boy Arvell was with the Cleveland Gladiators, and then they folded,
yeah,
and then he went to Washington, and then there was only like I think it was 6 teams, but then two folded again, two more folded, and it only
exactly.
ended up being like 4 teams or something
Yeah,
crazy like that.
I think 2017. I think they played with four. I think four or five teams, if I'm not mistaken, maybe four.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like, man, the
It's
league just looked real
just too
shaky,
much. Yeah,
man.
just too much
Yeah,
janky business going on.
yeah. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. I
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
I don't want to play anymore. I'm good with everything,
Hmm.
and
And
here we are.
for you, so for you, that it was like a smooth thing. It was like, okay, I did
Yeah.
what I could do.
Hmm.
It's like I can swallow that pill that I'm done, and there was no mixed emotions for you. Like you were good.
Yeah. I was pretty much good, man. It was, I think 2018. I may have gotten a slight itch because I
Okay.
was sitting around, and I think, like I said, when Orlando folded, we were working at like Westgate Hotel, just
Hmm,
kind of buying time in the off season until the
hmm,
next season started.
hmm,
And I was just like, man, I need to find a job if I'm not gonna play anymore. So
hmm.
I ended up getting a job in logistics, and I was doing that for a minute. I'm like, I was in sales, so I wasn't doing well, and I'm like, you know what, man, if sales don't shake, I might have to go back and play football again so I can figure out what I want to do next.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But they ended up, they were like, look, man, we know, you're not meeting your sales numbers. How would you like to do operations?
yeah,
I was like, yes, I'll do it. I'll
yeah,
take
yeah.
it. So I got to keep that job. I was doing operations, and I was so much better at it than sales. Like
Yeah,
I'm not a salesman.
that was with Bedrock Logistics, right?
This was at Nolan Transportation. I was there
Okay,
first,
okay, okay,
and then I was there 2.5 years,
okay,
and they closed the Orlando office.
okay.
So I was just like, damn, looking for a job again. Then I came over to Bedrock, and then
Okay.
Bedrock pandemic hit, fired.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So, but
yeah,
then I got another job now. I'm with R&R Freight Logistics. So I've been in logistics the whole time.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
learned the business, I got good at doing it, and
yeah, yeah.
I've been
So
fortunate enough to stay in it.
yeah, so would you say logistics kind of found you? Because that was going to be my next question. How did you get
Mm,
into the logistics realm? Obviously, we a lot of our teammates and guys that we know in football, we know so many guys that's doing so many different things, right? So
yeah.
I know that you said you started off in sales, and then, like you said, it sounded like logistics just found you. And once you learn the business, once you learn how it moves and how it operates, you got good
Hmm.
at it and you stayed in it.
Yeah. So the crazy thing was, just going back to knowing people and having, different relationships. A girl
Hmm,
I worked with at the bar back in college,
hmm.
she was in HR at Nolan Transportation.
Oh
And she
wow.
was like, she was like, "Hey, we got an opening here. Send me your resume. I can maybe get you in."
Mm-hmm,
Sent the
mm-hmm,
resume. Next week I had an interview. Next
mm-hmm.
week I was hired.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
just kind of like,
I'm telling you.
just knowing people, man.
Yep,
Like I said,
yep.
I try to be cool with everybody. You never know when you might need them.
I'm
So
telling you. I'm telling you. And that's
yeah,
and that's why like stuff like LinkedIn is so big and stuff like that because people
exactly.
if someone knows you or they may remember you or something like that and they may
Hmm.
think you're good for something. So you just never know. So that's dope, man. Um, Last question, bro. What would you say is William Maxwell's after effect through the 20 plus year relationship of playing football? I know you did shot put in high school, all the lessons through college and 4 years of arena football, playing for the Panthers for 3 days,
3 days.
getting the train, getting the training camp invite, getting the training camp invite. You go, hey, let me
three
tell you
days, baby. I was in Charlotte for 3 days. Can't tell me nothing.
you goofy, man. And then and then you got the Ravens training camp invite, but they didn't come through for you. So just through all those experiences, man, what were some lessons that you learned that you would take and obviously share to your son, your future kids, and essentially just as we try to push the culture forward?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I've been through a lot, experienced a lot.
Yeah,
I try to tell everybody, man, take things one day at a time.
one day at a
That's how
time.
I do it. Like,
Yeah,
don't try to literally don't get too high, don't get too low, man,
yeah.
because
Stay even, kill. Stay even.
exactly
Yeah,
anything can happen, man. And some people, some people don't know when to let things go.
yeah, yeah,
Me, I've always been like, hey, man, if it happens, it happens. If it
yeah.
doesn't, it doesn't. But if it happens, thank God it did.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of roll with it, man. Like 20 years. I've been playing football since I was 8.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody got any questions for me, I can help them out, tell them what I did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just all about teaching the next generation,
Exactly.
how to maneuver.
How to maneuver. And
That's all
it's
it is.
it's funny that you said take things one day at a time. And sometimes people
Mhm.
can't get over certain things. I think that was a misstep that I did, and I tell guys now, like, don't be like me. Like, don't put all this pressure on yourself to make it because if you don't make it, it's going to be hard for you to pull yourself out of that. It's going to be hard for you to. It's going to
That's
be
what I'm
hard for
saying,
yourself to
man.
pull yourself out because it was hard for me.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
put so much into it. Like don't get me wrong. Like I wanted to do well. Yes, I wanted to make the NFL. Yes, I
Mhm.
wanted to be the best at what I did.
Right.
But at the same time, man, if that's your only option when it fails, you're gonna be the most depressed person walking.
Yeah, I'm
So,
telling you. And
so
and
it's
I and
just
I
like,
really and I really think
yeah,
I really think I was for a long time.
yeah, yeah, man. You can't beat yourself up about it, man. Like I
I'm
said,
telling you.
things happen. Like
Yeah.
you got to take whatever you did, man. You got to be proud of the stuff you did because, like I said, a lot of people can't even say they went to, you can't say you've been in the NFL three
Exactly.
days.
Exactly, bro. And
Like somebody always wants to get where you've been, man. So,
exactly.
like I said, I'm thankful for everything that's happened.
That's a powerful after effect, like you said, taking it one day
Yeah.
at a time, not putting too much pressure on yourself. Because,
Hmm.
like I said, I think I did that, and I was depressed for a long time, and it's crazy. I had to go to therapy. Like I was really like I was messed up about it. I had to go to therapy, and I'm
Yeah.
literally just like, bro, this is the first time like that I ever hung up my jersey. Like I never
Yeah.
hung up my jersey. It was like sitting in like somewhere deep in my closet. Like, but it took me a long time to first first accept that I didn't get to the highest level of football. I didn't
Mm.
accomplish the highest goal that I set. But then as I started sifting through everything that I did, I was like, well, damn, I did do this. I did do that. I did it was like I had forgot all my accomplishments. It's like I had forgot the things that I did do.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like I look at you played 4 years in the Big Ten. Like
Right, right,
everybody don't get to do that, man. It's
right.
people that can't play 4 years anywhere, let alone the Big Ten.
I'm
Like
telling you,
I
bro.
played Division One FCS, Georgia
Yeah,
Southern University, the best
yeah.
university in the land, by the way. But I'm just saying, but I'm just saying, man, not everybody can say that. Like you
Yeah,
played 4 years of football and
I'm telling you.
actually played, like got
Yeah,
playing time at
yeah,
Iowa.
yeah,
Like
man. Yeah,
that's something to be proud about, man.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And that's why I try to tell the next generation whenever I go back home, where friends that are teachers want me to come speak to their class and things like that. I always say
Mhm.
that, man. Don't put no pressure on yourself. whatever is your main thing, obviously keep the main thing the main thing, but always have something else to pull from. Always find something else that you like to do. Don't just put all your basket. Just don't put all your eggs in one basket, because when it doesn't happen, like you will be depressed. Like and some
Exactly.
people, I know guys in their 30s that's older than me who still haven't like gotten out of that, who are still in it. Like
At all. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. That's another thing, man. Like, no disrespect to him, but I'm like, I did not want to be like
you ain't want to be
38,
that.
39, like
Yeah,
playing playing indoor football.
yeah.
I'm just like,
Knowing it,
bro,
not
it's
not
something
knowing
else
when
to
to give
do.
it up, not knowing when to give
Yeah,
it up.
yeah. If that's what you do, cool. Like, it's some guys that are great at it and are
Mhm.
balling. I
Exactly.
just didn't want that for me, man. I was just like, look, I'm gonna play these 5 years, and whatever
Yeah,
happens, happens.
yeah,
I
yeah,
had the best time of my life doing it, and now I'm just
yeah.
on to the next thing.
Right.
That's what
And
it
that's
is for me.
and that's the main thing, man. Just like you say,
Mhm.
having the ball, doing it, not having any regrets, but also just being kind to people. Like ever since I've been in my 30s and really started this podcast 6 months ago. Like I said, this is episode 40, but
Mm.
being able to reach out to guys that were former teammates and see the relationships you built. And when we had these kind of conversations, guys are always able to remember different memories, from when we used to hang out, whether it was in college or in Green Bay. When I would come over there, we would have Bud Lights after the games or just things
Yeah.
like that. It's always refreshing to be kind to people, because people remember that. People remember if you
Mm.
were like a me guy or an asshole kind of guy, or if you were an asshole of a teammate. Like guys remember those kinds of things, man. And so those are the things that you kind of just can't get back through the game of football, through sports in
Yeah.
general.
Exactly. Like me and you talking now. Like, we met in what, 2013,
8 years ago.
and 8 years ago, and we talking now. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you're not doing that with somebody that might have been like an asshole back then or something to you.
Exactly,
It's like,
exactly,
that's what
exactly,
I'm saying, man. Like, I preach this to everybody. Like,
exactly.
no matter what you believe in, try to be cool with everybody, man, because you never know
You never
when you're
know.
gonna need that person.
You never
That's what I
know,
say. I
man.
can honestly say, man, like, I try to be cool with everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
And even if we're not cool, I could try to help you out if you need me. Because
Exactly,
I'm
exactly.
telling you, it's going to happen. Somebody going to do something. So
I'm telling
you're
you.
going to have to
Yeah.
you're going to have to build relationships, man, wherever you go.
Always, man. Relationships are so important, man. So that's
Mm.
actually all I had, bro. I appreciate you carving out the time. Something that I've been trying to pride myself on since I started this podcast is giving guys flowers while they're here, because 2020 has been a year we've lost people through racial injustices. We've lost people and family through the COVID-19, through different sicknesses, things like that. So I've been trying to give all my guys flowers in my circle while we're still here. So, bro, I want to tell you
Mm.
face up as a man, all the accomplishments, all the accolades, new husband, new father, everything that you've done, man. I want to say face to face, I'm proud of you. Keep going, keep killing it in the logistics realm, keep killing it as a dad, keep killing it as a husband. And I just want to give you your flowers while we both still here, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I've been watching you the last few years. I know you was doing the acting thing.
Man,
I seen you doing the modeling thing. I'm like,
I'm
Brian,
still,
I
yeah,
seen when you were doing the weight loss thing. I'm like, damn, I
yeah,
said, Brian out here working.
man,
Just like
working,
like
bro.
I said, man, I definitely support from afar, man. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna. I didn't even realize I knew you were doing the podcast, but like I said, I
Mhm.
didn't know you had 40 episodes. So what I
Yeah, man,
did like
it's
yesterday when you invited me to the show, I'm like, let
yeah,
me go back and look at these and see
yeah,
what kind of questions he's asking, stuff like that.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm gonna definitely, man, I'm gonna follow the Twitter account. I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
check out all the episodes, man. I'm
Tap
telling you,
in,
man, because
tap in,
we
tap in
we
with me,
all gotta
bro.
win. We all gotta win.
Exactly, man. Tap in with me. It's
Mhm.
funny. I think that sometimes guys may look at me like in a different way or whatever, because one thing that I noticed after I was done, like I had to reinvent myself. I had to
Mhm.
find out what I was passionate about outside of football. I had been like we talked about 20-year relationship.
Yeah.
And something that I found out I was passionate about was content. I like telling stories. So whether I'm
Mhm.
acting, whether I'm writing, whether I'm hosting a podcast, it's all still storytelling. It's telling
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
And I felt like it's so much value in our stories. Like all these athletic stories. Like no one would have guessed you played 4 years of arena football. No one would have guessed that you started playing high school football in 11th grade. I mean, it's so many different things happen, and the fans and people from the outside looking in, they don't know the truth about it. And so I feel like it's powers in our story. So that's really why I said the podcast in general. And and it's free. It's all it takes is time, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, time is the only luxury.
Yep.
I'm sorry for taking two of your hours because we had technical difficulties, but
Man, look, man. Like I said, just roll with the punches, man. Like I said, if I would have
right,
been stressed out about the mic's not working or the video feed, I'd just say,
right.
you know what, man, never mind, forget it. Like, no, I ain't got
Yeah.
nothing to do. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
go
yeah,
ahead and
man.
be with my family and watch
Yeah.
the game.
Well, yeah. Again, bro, I appreciate you for the support. An
Mhm.
idea that I had is maybe trying to doing like a Zoom roundtable because I'm planning an interview. I think like 3 or more offensive linemen
Mhm.
this spring. Like 2 or 3 are still active in the NFL, and it's another guy that I know that actually. So he played offensive line in in Des Moines with me for the Iowa Barnstormers, and now he does security and he's a bouncer as well out in LA. But
Mhm.
he ended up getting a gig with Adam Levine from Maroon 5. So
Okay,
he's been his personal security for like 2 years now. So
that's
he's
crazy.
doing this thing, but he
Yeah.
has that arena experience as well, and he played offensive line
Mhm.
too. So I wanted to kind of do like a off OL, a former OL roundtable. I'm not an offensive lineman, but I battled against offensive linemen. So
Yeah.
I want to kind of hear different techniques and different ways that you all saw the game, like coming from
Mhm.
like an edge guy or something like that. Things that you look for, you know, just bros talking, kind of just talking football. But I wanted to kind of do it from a roundtable perspective. So that's just me. That's just me planting the seed.
Hey, I tell you one thing, you would definitely have a very entertaining session with a bunch of old linemen sitting around the round table. So I'm pretty sure we
Yes,
got a lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to
bro,
that.
and the guy that I'm referencing, Pete,
Mhm.
he's super animated like you. He got a great
Yeah.
personality. so
I'm telling you, man.
so that's why I
Old
got the
lineman, man.
idea.
Old
Yeah.
lineman, we're all thrown off a little bit. You got to be crazy to be offensive lineman, man. So
Right,
I'm telling you,
right,
it would
right.
be definitely entertainment.
Definitely. So I just want to plant that seed. I'm looking at hopefully do that maybe like April, May, but I just wanted to plant that seed right now, man. So yeah, again, I
Yeah, man.
appreciate you carving out the time, man, and enjoy your Sunday with your family. I hope and pray that you all continue to stay safe, and we'll talk later down the road.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna go in here and check out the Browns, man. See what they do
Hey
today.
man, we up 10. It's second quarter, almost halftime. Let's get it.
All right, we ain't gonna jinx it then. We're just gonna be quiet about it then.
All right, and I hope the Jags have a better year next year, man. You know, I know you are a loyal fan, and you've been a loyal fan for a long time.
Help is on the way. Go ahead and put Trevor. Matter
Yeah,
of fact, on this podcast, Trevor Lawrence is on the way.
I was about to ask you before we got off. So
Mhm.
do you want Trevor Lawrence or you want Justin Fields? Because Justin Fields just went off
I've
last
been
night,
I know it, and
6
I've been flip
touchdowns.
flopping. I said Trevor Lawrence the whole time. After I watched the game with Ohio State Northwestern, I'm like, oh, Fields he can go number 2. It got to
Yeah,
be Trevor Lawrence because Fields was terrible at Northwestern.
yeah. He was terrible, but then
Then
he went
yeah,
crazy
he went nuts
versus
against Clemson
Clemson. Versus Clemson.
versus Clemson. I'm like, ah.
It's tough.
I'm good with either one, man. Like I
Yeah.
said, I still think it'll be Trevor, but I'm good with either one. We'll
Okay.
see.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. Well, yeah, that's all I had, man. Again, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk soon, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Have a
All
good
right.
one, man.
Peace.